Hi guys. All right, today we are working on lesson 20, session 3, and that's on page 423. And today is just subtracting fractions. Okay? So, let's get to it. First problem is one that you normally do by yourself. So, after I read it, maybe you can pause the video and try it on your own and then come back and check your work, because that's how we would normally do it at school. Here we go. Alberto's water bottle has 5/6 of a liter of water in it. He drinks 4/6 of a liter. What fraction of a liter of water is left in the bottle? Okay, so his bottle has this much water in it, 5/6 of a liter. And then he drinks 4/6 of a liter. So how much is left? So what's left in the bottle? Okay, so if you would like to pause the video now and try this on your own, show your work, solve it, you can. If you don't know where to start, you can start with me. I'm gonna draw a model for his bottle. It kind of rhymed, model and bottle. So here, I'll even give it a little cap. Okay, now it's a water bottle. That's the little lid. So I want to make it sixths. Sixth is hard for me to say. So I'm going to cut that in half, and then each half is going to get 3 parts. Okay, so that half has 3 even parts, and the top half has 3 even parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now the water bottle has sixths, and he has only 5/6 of a liter of water in it, so it's not full. It would have 6/6 if it was full, but he's only got 5/6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and I started from the bottom because it would be weird if the top was all full and then there was a bottom part, one part down here was empty, because gravity doesn't work that way. So that's his water bottle. It's 5/6 full. Okay, so that's your setup. If you want to try and solve the rest of the problem, you should be able to do that by now. If not, we'll keep going through it, okay? Or if you're checking your answer, that's great. So that's how much water was in it, and then he drinks 4/6 of the liter. So if he drinks 4 of these, so he drinks this one, so that one's gone. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what fraction of a liter of water is left in the bottle? Just 1. 1/6 is left. Okay. You can also just do a subtraction equation with fractions. 5/6 of a liter is how much we started with. Then he drank 4/6 of a liter. So remember, you keep the denominator the same and you just subtract the numerators. 5 minus 4 equals 1. 1/6 left. So there's my answer. If I want to write it in a sentence, I could say he has 1/6 of a liter left. Okay, that's it. That's the problem. So on the next page, they're going to show us some strategies that they used. So I'll turn the page to 424. There we go. Okay, so there's the same problem. They used a picture, kind of like my water bottle model. So they sectioned it off into sixths. 1 liter is at the top when it's full. So this whole thing would be 1 full liter. So that would be 6/6 up to the top. So each part of it is 1/6. So down here they shaded in 5/6 of it. Then they subtracted the 4/6 that he drank. And what's left is 1/6. Okay. And then you can also use a number line if you'd like to for fraction subtraction. So they divided the number line into sixths, 0 to 1 into sixths. So every jump is a sixth. And they did their little mark at the point for 5/6, because that's how much water he starts with. And then they're subtracting 4/6. So they go back 4 spots and each space is a sixth, and you're left with 1/6. Okay, so we'll answer some questions about that right here. Shadow, there we go. Okay, connect it. Now you'll use the problem from the previous page to help you understand how to subtract any two fractions that have the same denominator. In 5th grade, you'll work on different denominators, like if you were trying to do like 5/6 minus 2/3. Okay, well, how do I keep the denominator the same, right? So that's for 5th grade. We're working with same denominator in 4th grade, so that's lucky for us. So number 1, in picture it on this side over here, why does 1/6 represent one of the equal parts of the liter? Okay, so the denominator tells how many equal parts there are. And that's how many parts the bottle's divided into, and it's divided into 6 equal parts. So these questions are basically just confusing. Why does 1/6 represent one of the equal parts of the liter? So why does 1/6 represent one part? Okay, so follow with me. The denominator tells how many equal parts the bottle is divided into. Okay, so if the denominator is 6, that means that there are 6 equal parts. So one part would equal 1/6. So there are 6 parts. So one part would equal 1/6. Okay, it's kind of confusing. They're just basically asking, like, how do we know that 1/6 represents just one little section of the water bottle? So we're just telling them what the denominator means. So the denominator is how many equal parts the bottle is divided into. It's divided into 6 parts because the denominator is 6. There are 6 parts, so one part of it would equal 1/6. They're basically just explaining this. Why is each part 1/6 of the liter? Okay, we can kind of just see that from the models, but they wanted us to explain it. Okay, what do the numerators 5 and 4 tell you? So 5 was when it was 5/6. So 5 is the number of parts of the bottle that had water in it to begin with. 5 is how many parts of the bottle had water in the beginning, or something like that. Okay, and then 4 was the number of parts he drank. If you need to pause and catch up, you can. That's a lot of writing so far. Number 3, how many sixths of a liter are left in the bottle after Alberto drinks 4/6? So what was our answer? 1/6. That's how much was left. Then we need to complete the equations. 5/6 minus 4/6 equals 1/6. And then using fractions, 5/6 minus 4/6 equals 1/6. Okay, number 5 and 6 are for you to do. Explain how you subtract fractions with the same denominator. So you subtract the numerator, keeps the denominator the same. And reflect is for your favorite strategy. Do you like number lines? Do you like drawing a model? Do you like equations? What do you like, and explain why. Okay? Good luck. On the back page, once you're ready, you got 3 problems. You need to apply your new knowledge of subtracting fractions to these problems. Number 7. Carmen has 8/10 of the lawn left to mow. She mows 5/10 of the lawn. Now what fraction of the lawn is left to mow? Show your work. Okay, so I could draw her yard with a fraction model. And I need it to be tenths. I need 10 equal parts. So if I cut it in half, there needs to be 5 on this side, 5 on this side. Okay, not bad, pretty equal. I'm gonna use my highlighter. So she has 8/10 of the lawn left to mow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that colored in area is what she has left to mow. Then she mows 5/10 of the lawn. Okay, so she has 8/10 left, and then she went and did 5/10 more. So I'm gonna cross out 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what fraction of the lawn is left? These 3 right here. 3/10 is left. I could also do an equation or a number line, but I like models and equations. That's my personal preference. 8/10 of the lawn is what she has to mow. And then she goes and mows 5/10 of it. So what's left? Denominator stays the same. 8 minus 5 equals 3. Okay. 3/10 of the lawn is left. Star for showing your work, star for your sentence. Remember, if you're feeling good about these are the problems you should be doing by yourself right now, and then checking your work with me afterwards. Okay, number 8. Mrs. Kirk has 3/4 of a carton of eggs. She uses some for baking and has 2/4 of the carton left. What fraction of the carton does she use? Show your work. Okay, so I'm gonna draw another model. So she has a carton of eggs, she has 3/4, so I need 4 equal parts for my model. And she only has 3/4 of a carton of eggs left. So she has this 1, 2, 3. So she's already used this. This is already gone. That white space we're not worried about. This is how much she has so far. Then she uses some for baking and has 2/4 of the carton left. So subtract the 2/4 that she has left. What fraction of the carton does she use? 1/4. Because 3/4 minus 2/4, I know I keep my denominator the same. 3 minus 2 equals 1. Okay, she used 1/4 of the carton. Star for your work, star for your sentence. Okay, and last one on this page. Number 9. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Badru? I have never heard that name before. Badru, I wonder where that comes from. What country does that name come from? Badru reads 4/8 of a book. How much of the book does he have left to read? Okay, so I know that 4/8 is equivalent to 1/2. So really he's read half the book. If he's read half the book, then he has another half he has to read. So I could figure out which one of these is equivalent to 1/2. But I could also do it like this. So if he read, well, the whole book, one entire book would be 8/8, right? Because I'm looking at the denominator. And if I have to do eighths, then 8/8 is the whole book. And he reads 4/8 of it. So how much is left? Well, my denominator stays the same. 8 minus 4 equals 4. Okay, so he's got 4/4 of the book left. So he's read half and he has half left to go. Star for your work, star for C. Okay, and then we've got the practice pages. So green pages over here, centered. Okay. The example is done for us. That's nice. Let's move on. Looking at this blue problem right here. Keisha is at her friend's house. Cool, good for Keisha and her friend. Her friend's house is 8/10 of a mile from Keisha's home. Keisha walks 3/10 of a mile toward home, then her mother drives her the rest of the way home. Divide the number line to show tenths, then label each tick mark. And tick marks are the little, I call them dashes, tick marks, okay? So I just need to label this with tenths. I know that'll be 0/10, and this one whole mile, would be 10/10. Okay, so halfway would be 5/10. 5/10 is equivalent to 1/2. Okay, 2, 3, 4. So that's 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 6/10, 7/10, 8/10, 9/10, and that's 10/10, right? One whole. Okay, done. Did that. Okay, use arrows to show the problem on the number line you labeled in problem 1. Okay, so she's at her friend's house already. She's at her friend's house and she's headed back home, basically, okay? So her friend's house is 8/10 of a mile from Keisha's home. So she is here, 8/10 of a mile away from home. If she's gonna walk towards home, right? And then she'll be 0 miles away from home once she's at home. So she walks 3/10 of a mile towards home. So 1, 2, 3. So that's the distance she walks. Done. Did that with my arrows. So how far does Keisha's mother drive her? So Keisha's mom picks her up right here and takes her the rest of the way home. Okay, so I'm just gonna... So this is when Keisha's mom picks her up and goes all the way back home, so that would be 5/10 of a mile. From here to here is 5/10 of a mile, so that's how far Keisha's mom took her. She was here at her friend's house. She walked 3/10 of a mile, and then her mom drove her the rest of the way home. Then write an equation for this problem that includes your answer, this answer. So I would do the 8/10 of a mile distance she starts at minus the 3/10 of a mile she walks, and that'll equal how far her mom takes her, or how far left she has to go home that her mom drives her. So I don't change my denominator. 8 minus 3 equals 5. 5/10. Okay. All right, back page. Just a few more problems. Okay, number 5. Anna makes a quilt by sewing together green, white, and yellow fabric. When she finishes, 2/6 of the quilt is green and 3/6 is yellow. The rest is white. What fraction of the quilt is white? Show your work. Okay, so you can do an equation, a number line, a model, whatever you want. But I'm gonna do a picture because this has a couple parts to it, okay? So this is my quilt, or Anna's quilt, I guess. And the whole quilt is gonna be 6/6. So I'm trying to show. Okay, so that's the entire quilt, and it's in 6ths. There are 6 equal parts because that's my denominator. Let's see, what colors was it? Green, white, and yellow. Okay, I have yellow. Where's green? Green pen. Okay. So when she finishes the quilt, 2/6 of the quilt is green. So 2 equal parts will be green. 3/6 of it will be yellow. Oops. 1, 2, 3. And the rest is white. So what fraction of the quilt is white? 1/6. Just one of them. Okay, because that's the green section, 2/6. 3/6 is yellow, the rest is white. So what fraction is white? You could also do it like this. You could do 2/6 plus 3/6 to find the green and yellow part combined, which would be 5/6. And then you could do the whole quilt as 6/6 minus 5/6 because that's the green and yellow areas. And that'll equal 1/6, our answer, which is what's left over. That's going to be white. So 1/6 of the quilt is white. Star for showing your work, star for your answer. Very beautiful quilt. Okay, number 6. Find 9/8 minus 8/8. Use a number line or an area model to show your thinking. So show your work with either one of those. It's pretty clear to see what the answer would be though. 9 minus 8 is 1. So your answer should be 1/8. I'm gonna show, oh, that is tricky, I didn't realize. I'm gonna do a number line. Number line will be easier with that. I didn't look at it very clearly because 9 is bigger than 8. So your numerator is bigger than your denominator. It's going to be greater than 1. So I need to go, each tick mark, each dash is going to be 1/8. 2/8. 3/8. 4. 5. 8/8, which is 1 whole, right? 9/8. Okay, so if you start at 9/8 and go back, you subtract 8/8. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I land on 1/8. So 9/8 minus 8/8 equals 1/8. That would be trickier to do with area models. You would just have to draw 2 models. You can do that here real quick. Just a really rough model. I need them both to show eighths though. Okay, so both models have 8 equal parts. I need to first show 9/8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that's why you need 2 models. To show 9/8, that's 1 whole plus 1 more eighth. Okay, and then if you subtract 8/8, that would be this entire model. 8/8 is 1 whole. So you're taking away 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you're just left over with this one little blue 8/8, or 1/8 right there. Okay, so you could have done a number line or an area model, either one. Give yourself a star if you showed your work with one of those strategies, and a star for ending up with 1/8. Okay, and very last problem, number 7. Shanice she has 1 whole pizza. Lucky her. Shanice has 1 whole pizza. She eats some of it and has 4/6 of the pizza left. What fraction of the pizza does she eat? Show your work. Okay, so you can use an area model, number line, equation, whatever you would like. The whole pizza, though, is going to be 6/6 because they tell me my denominator right here is 6, so the whole thing is going to be 6/6. So if you subtract what she's got left, 4/6, that's going to show me how much she eats. Denominator stay the same. 6 minus 4 equals 2. she ate 2/6 of the pizza. If you did that with an area model, pizzas are round, needs 6 equal pieces. Whoa, that was pretty good. Okay, so the entire pizza is 6/6. She eats some of it and has 4/6 left. So if I color in 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces to represent how much of it is left over, these 2 are what she has eaten so far, 2/6. Okay? So however you showed your work with an equation, area model, number line, I did an equation and a model, and your answer in a sentence, 2 more stars. All right, that's it for that lesson. See you guys next video for session 4. Bye.